or three gears. It like fades in and out of boost and shit. Hello, and welcome back to Hunter Tuned. Today we are out at the shop, and I'm looking at Michael's car torn apart. So yeah, last couple days we've been kind of messing around with some stuff, and Michael ended up breaking his transmission in his car. So this is the built-up little single cam that Michael has, and you know, makes some pretty good power. And what he ended up doing was breaking third gear. So right in here, he got his transmission out yesterday, I think, and yeah, here's his third gear. He rounded it right off, so that's not good. He's gonna have to get a replacement third gear or swap in some different gears, because third gear is munched on both sides, the counter and the main shaft. Everything else looks pretty good, but yeah, so he's gonna need a third gear there. He got it all torn apart by himself last night, so I'm pretty proud of him that he got all this stuff done. He didn't even text me for help, so that's pretty cool that he's kind of learning this stuff. So anyways, Michael broke that. I think everybody was saying on his Facebook that they were like, oh, you broke your transmission because it was weak or it was worn out or whatever. I 95% believe he broke the third gear there because the car shook the tires. It wheel hopped, and when you encounter wheel hop on these cars, especially on like a shitty tarmac road, like where he was, it wasn't like smooth concrete, it was just like a, you know, like asphalt tarmac kind of road. I feel like if you wheel hop on that kind of a surface, it's really detrimental to the drivetrain in general. Either you break an axle, a differential, a gear, whatever, you break something. I have broken, I think, 3 axles on my hatch, 2 differentials, and that's it. I haven't broken a gear, but I've broken 2 diffs and 3 axles when I had these coilovers in. So these are the eBay coilovers that I used to have on my hatch, and then a subscriber actually sent me function form type 2s, and I have function form coilovers in there now, and the wheel hop is gone. So I'm thinking that these coilovers are just not suited for big horsepower. They ride good, and they have a good height adjustment. Like, you can really slam the car with these things, but they're not set up spring rate wise and dampening wise to be able to encounter the stress of the horsepower on the drivetrain. So I told him swap back to your old suspension, and you shouldn't have any issues, because he ran this thing hard all last year. And I'm saying hard, like he ran it all year, all day long, every day, beat the snot out of it, and he never broke anything. And the only thing he changed on this whole setup was turn the power down. It's on less power now than it was last year. And he changed to these coilovers from my car because he thought they would be better than his setup that he had before, which is not the case, unfortunately. So I recommended to him that he swapped out these coilovers for something else because, you know, like I said, wheel hop is the main killer of a lot of parts. I think that's the main reason why my Mustang has not broken a drive shaft. It has not broken the factory rear end, going 1/460 foots and 9 seconds in the quarter mile. This car has a stock 28 spline rear end and a stock Mustang drive shaft. And I think the key to keeping all this drivetrain component stuff alive is don't shock the drivetrain. Do not shake the drivetrain, because when you shake the drivetrain, or when you wheel hop, or when you tire shake, what happens is these gears ride together, and they have backlash. So the gears will be able to you know, kind of mesh back and forth. I'll kind of show you with this reverse gear here. So like when the gears are on here, you're going to have a little side-to-side gear lash play. And when you wheel hop, it literally just bangs back and forth between the backlash. So like, this is obviously exaggerated, but when you're spinning this thing, you know, how 8,000 RPM or whatever the case is, this will literally rock back and forth probably like 1,000 times in a split second, and it's literally just knocking on these gears as hard as it can, and eventually once one tooth breaks, once one of these little teeth breaks, usually they all go and they all shear right off. So that is just my theory. Wheel hop is just a killer on a lot of stuff, and the Mustang being a 4-link, I think it's a 4-link, I don't fucking know, but it's got good suspension setup on it. It's coil sprung and has no issues. My Buick Regal was also sort of set up like this, but I broke a Ford 9-inch rear end. Like, it was a built Ford 9-inch rear end I broke because it wheel hopped. I had a built 10 bolt in one of my other trucks, never broke it, but I broke axle shafts, drive shafts, all that kind of stuff when the suspension would hop. So if you're like doing a burnout and then it starts to, you know, do one of those maneuvers where the rear end kind of jumps around, or in a Honda, it, you know, the whole front end shakes, that's the killer, really, guys. I'm thinking so. But anyways, enough with the babbling about the wheel hop stuff. I kind of just wanted to get that off my chest and let you guys know what I thought of that stuff. Let me know what your guys' theories are down in the comments below. I love to hear your feedback. I know single cam stuff is pretty weak, but Michael is only on 12 pounds of boost. You know, maybe 300 horsepower. It wasn't, you know, turned up to the moon or anything like that. And the transmission could have been getting a little bit old, but I don't think that was the case. So anyways, I've been out at the shop and I've been messing with this fan. This is the big fan that I picked up for the dyno here to be able to get the exhaust out. And I've been trying to actually re-gear this fan, and I wanted to get either a smaller pulley that connects to the fan or a bigger pulley that connects to the motor, because I know some of the farm stores around here, they sell these pulleys and stuff like that, but they have like little set screws on them and they slide onto a shaft. But man, these things have been on here for ages. They will not budge. I'm gonna have to get like a 3-jaw puller or something to be able to get these pulleys off of this fan in order to re-gear it, because I would like to get some more RPM out of the fan. It does do its job and it does pump a lot of airflow. Like if you stand outside, it'll blow all the dust that's in the shop kind of right out, but I just want to get some more RPM out of it. This thing doesn't even seem like it's working. It's so quiet, and I just think it wouldn't hurt by putting a little bit more RPM to it. So anyways, I did get a new setup for my hatch. This is the EK Civic Turbo hatch that went 1090 at the track, and I did get a new setup for it. So I have been rocking the GSR. This is pretty much the free build that I put together. I got a set of used high compression CP pistons, a set of Eagle rods, and I had like the cylinder head on my V20 and a bunch of other stuff, and I literally put this whole bottom end together for free using a bunch of like old reused parts. But since this build was free, the block that I used was a little bit messed up. The cylinder had a little bit of scoring in it, and the car has had blow-by ever since I put it together, but it rips. I used ground down engine bearings. Like I literally can't believe this thing is still alive. I've turned it up quite a bit and made a bunch of power with it, and it still has good oil pressure, makes good horsepower, and it just keeps going and keeps going. I almost feel guilty swapping it, and I don't even know if I want to swap it, but I want to show you guys the new block that I did put together for it, or not put together, but I did just get it back from the machine shop. This is a B18B, well, it's a LS block, so it's not the GSR, but I think it's, you know, it'll hold up just fine. And I did get the Chris Boyette block filler installed into this block, so I pretty much just cleaned out the inside of the cylinders here, and then I used the Chris Boyette. He sells you like a mini vodka bottle filled with the mystery juice, and I call it mystery juice because he's very secretive about his you know, block filler here. And what I did is I filled the block up, you know, up to the water jacket or whatever they recommend, and you know, it's like 1 inch or something that you fill up, and then you drill the holes in for the coolant to flow. And I've had a lot of questions on this stuff with the DevCon, and I'll probably get questions with this, is like, oh, do you have overheating problems? And I never noticed any temperature difference with this. Same as CSS, you never really notice any temperature difference. A sleeve block is going to be a closed deck. Doesn't really affect temperature on these little aluminum Honda motors. So what I did on this setup is I actually poured the epoxy in, and I had the epoxy overhang the deck quite a bit. So I had like, you know, probably about a, you know, millimeter or two of overhang. So the block filler was actually above the deck surface. And since I wanted to get the block decked anyways, because I plan on pushing a lot of boost through it, you want to have true surfaces on the block and the head, so it's best to get both sides resurfaced. I was like, okay, I'll do the block filler, and then the machine shop will just deck it all flat. And this actually worked out really well. This is a completely seamless setup here, so you can't tell at all that this was even put in here. It's like it's part of the block. It looks extremely nice. It's very smooth. I got to clean out a lot of the metal shavings and stuff. My machinist actually gives me a really good deal. He's like, I'll just cut it, you clean it, you know, because you know, he'll like resurface a head for me, or he'll resurface a block, and he'll just be like, hey, you know, 25 bucks or something like that, and I just got to clean out all the old metal shavings, which is fine with me. So anyways, that's the block. Hopefully that thing will take a lot of horsepower. I'm thinking it will, just because it is a B18 block, and it has the reinforcement there. I know that Chris Boyette is like in the 8s or something, 1200 horsepower on a J series with that same block filler. So I think it'll work out pretty good for my application. Shooting for like 600 or 700 maybe. My goal with this car is to see a 140 mile an hour pass. I think that'll be plenty. I don't know if I really want to go more than that, because I don't really want to spend the money on a dog box transmission and all that kind of stuff. I might try to go 9s on the stock transmission. I think that might be another goal of mine. But we'll see as time goes on. But like I said, I really do feel guilty about pulling this engine out, because, well, it just works, dude. Why pull it out if it still works? It's just it's got blow-by that comes out of the catch can all the time. Just because the one cylinder is a little bit messed up, the bore is messed up, so the ring doesn't seal perfectly, and you know, has blow-by that comes out. But damn, this thing still makes good power, and you know, it doesn't the head gasket's still holding, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I want to take this cylinder head and put it on a B20 block, because I have another cylinder head over there that I'm actually going to refreshen. I have everything to put this block together besides a set of springs and retainers. I need a set of springs and retainers. If anybody has a set that's used or can hook me up with. I've been kind of a little bit low on funds here with the dyno and with the you know, shop coming along and stuff like that. I did get this head resurfaced. I just need to get a set of springs and retainers. Like I said, I got brand new valves here, and I got a brand new head gasket, brand new bearings, polished crank, pretty much everything ready to go to, you know, rebuild the hatch. But like I said, I don't know if I want to, because it's already running really good, and you know what I mean, guys? Like, I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. But at the same time, it would be like peace of mind to you know, not have all the blow-by coming out and all that kind of stuff. So another cool thing, another update for you guys is the dyno is doing good. Obviously, you guys seen in the last video, we put the Mustang on, and Mustang laid down some horsepower on it. But couple good things coming for the dyno is, first thing, I did order the Your Dyno software already. That's another reason why I'm like, I don't know if I really want to spend money on my car stuff right now, because I just spent a lot of money on this dyno, transporting it, getting the shop, you know, doing all this stuff at the shop has really, like, you know, I've spent quite a bit of money lately, and you know, I don't want to like be completely broke or something and fucking, you know, fix up a car or something like that, even though I do have a lot of the parts to put a lot of them together. But anyway, so the dyno, I did order the Your Dyno software, and I got a big load cell, and I got pretty much everything ready and on its way. So should be like 2 weeks or something, and the dyno should be reading some horsepower numbers finally. I just gotta wait to get it in the mail. Obviously, it's coming from Norway or somewhere across the seas to Wisconsin here, so it might take a little while. The guy actually said it should only take a couple days, but we'll see. I'm planning on 2 weeks or so before that stuff actually gets here, but we'll see. And then the other thing with the dyno is I actually got a hold of the landlord today, because, well, we talked about it a little bit in the last video, and how we didn't want the dyno to or we wanted to like build a mount for the dyno so we can jack it up and turn it around or spin it around 180 degrees so we can put rear wheel drive cars on or front wheel drive cars on it. You know, and be able to do it kind of fast, you know, because like if we have a dyno day or something like that, I don't want to have to move the dyno 180 degrees every, you know, like other car. If one's a front wheel drive, one's a rear wheel drive or whatever, I feel like it'd just be a hassle and it would be a lot of wasted time. But I got a hold of the landlord today, and I actually asked him just for the hell of it. I was like, hey man, do you care if we cut a hole in the floor and install this thing into the ground? because it would save me a lot of space and a lot of room. And he's like, as long as you fix the concrete when you're done, go for it. So we have permission to actually put the dyno into the floor. So if this thing is into the floor, it will be completely seamless, and we can just drive over it to pull a car into the shop or what have you. And I think that would be my best bet, but I have no idea on where to even start with putting the dyno into the ground. I know obviously I got to cut a hole with a concrete saw. That's like the first thing we got to do. But I was thinking about getting rid of the flywheel section here, because if we do, then we can have, you know, this whole section will be completely flat, and we can put this end on this side of the dyno, so we can literally just drive over this thing if we have to pull a car into the shop or whatever. And then we can literally put the dyno probably like somewhere, you know, back here, kind of right by the door or wherever, and it won't be taking up any room because it will be in the ground, and we can just drive right over it and not have any issues with, you know, having to move the dyno to pull a car out, or having to move the dyno to, you know, do whatever. It'd just be a lot easier, a lot simpler, a lot cleaner, and I think it'd be super cool to be able to put this damn thing into the ground. Maybe we could put the dyno like right where the Mustang's back tire is right now. That way the car is actually in the shop, and we could still pull a front wheel drive car on this way. I don't know. I don't know if that would work. We'll have to do some measuring and thinking about it, but yeah. So anyways, lots of cool stuff coming. And yeah, so I hate this, guys. I'll literally open up the camera, give you guys a couple updates, and we're like 15 minutes into the video already. But anyways, I do want to tell you guys one more thing before I, you know, continue babbling some more. Is I have been taking a supplement, herb. It's a herbal remedy or whatever for like stress and anxiety and stuff like that. And I really wanted to share it with you guys because, well, I've been feeling a little bit better after taking this ashwagandha root. So ashwagandha is like a Indian or some, you know, some place fucking back in the 3,000 years ago used ashwagandha as like a medicine or like a healing agent for, you know, people that were stressed out or people that have anxiety or whatever the case. And first day I tried this ashwagandha root, I bought it right at GNC. It's like a supplement vitamin store right in my town here. And it was super cheap. And I'm like, well, whatever, I'll just give it a shot, see if, you know, I feel a little bit better. And I gave it a shot. And the first day I took it, I was like, holy crap, like I've never had a clear head like this in a long time. And it doesn't like get you high. So if you're like looking to get messed up off of something like this, it's not for you. But it definitely helps with stress and like clearing your head and giving you mental clarity. I even notice right now as I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking more fluently. I'm just more clear-headed, and I can actually like focus on what I need to do instead of like, you know, drowning myself in anxiety and thinking about the future and the past and everything. You know, that kind of just drives you nuts with anxiety and stuff. I still have anxiety like every day, and I'm still dealing with anxiety, but it seems like it's a lot shorter lived, and I can talk myself out of it a lot easier. At least that's what I've noticed today, but I don't know. I'm just going day by day, guys, and I just figured I'd let you know that I'm trying this ashwagandha stuff, and it seems to be fucking amazing. Like, literally seems amazing. Like, it seems way too fucking good to be true, which it might be. But it's an adaptogen, so it kind of adapts your body, whatever is imbalanced or whatever you have issues with. It kind of binds to whatever is wrong with you and fixes it. It does a plethora of benefits for people. Like it is definitely something you guys should look into if you know you have, you know, if you think you might be able to utilize it. It definitely seems like it works very well, and it's 100% safe. Like you don't get sick from it if you take, you know, if you eat 5 pounds of it, you might get a stomach ache, but it's not like something that it's really gonna like totally mess your day up or whatever, and you can like mix it with a bunch of shit. It doesn't really care. So that's another cool thing, is it doesn't like have a bunch of side effects and stuff like that either. So yeah, ashwagandha, give it a try. Alrighty guys, so we are actually at the house currently, and I wanted to show you guys the new catch can that I got for my Mustang. I picked it up from a buddy, and it should do the job just fine. This is just like a, you know, can style 2-10 fittings on it. And yeah, it's got a little mounting bracket already welded onto it, so I just got to bolt that into the engine bay somewhere. It's got a filter on the top, and I took this filter off of the top of the catch can, and there's a bunch of steel wool packed in the catch can. So I think I'm actually going to do that with my Honda, my Honda's catch can. I'm going to put some steel wool in there. I've been actually planning to do this for quite some time, and I haven't really gotten around to doing it. So I'm going to pack a bunch of steel wool in the Honda's catch can, and then I'm going to kind of see how bad the smoke is, if it clears up at all, or if it gets any better. I'm probably just going to send the Honda for a little longer, honestly. Because that's really where the smoke comes out of, is the catch can. But if I can simmer down the smoke a little bit, which I think I'll be able to with some steel wool kind of in the catch can, I think that might help out a little bit. Keep some of the blow-by to a minimum. These are the fittings. I had a bunch of these kind of laying around. These are just weld-on -10 bungs. So I got 2 of those, and I'm going to go get the valve covers off of the Mustang, bring them home so I can take the valve covers over to somewhere where they can actually tap, or not tap, but weld the bungs into the valve covers. So, yeah. I still got a bunch of blocks. I got coil packs everywhere. I got frickin' a tranny. I got trannies. I got heads and a whole bunch of stuff I still have to take out to the shop. But I plan on actually leaving some stuff here. But yeah. So anyways, I'm going to go get the Honda. We're going to play around a little bit, maybe do some pulls, and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, bros. So I'm out here in a fucking t-shirt in Wisconsin. This is amazing. We got the hatch pulled out of the shop, and yeah, it's like 60 degrees out today. Just fucking gorgeous. I'm going to show you what I did to the steel wool in the catch can quick. Sorry about the wind noise. It is breezy out today. But I did want to show you guys that I packed the catch can full of steel wool now. So hopefully it'll reduce the amount of smoke that's coming out of it. Like I said, just because I'm trying to just send the motor, because it just runs so damn good, I don't want to pull it out. Which I know it's bad, it's broken, I should fucking fix it, but we got other stuff to do, like put the dyno in the ground. Alrighty, so we got the Mustang pulled into the shop now, and I pulled the valve covers off of it. We got both valve covers off now. You guys can see my fancy frickin' cylinder heads. Oh, I love those fucking springs. They look sick. And then I got the trunnion upgrade here. Frickin', yeah, buddy. I don't know if these are like ARP rocker bolts, but we got like hardened push rods. I did these heads up pretty nice. So we got valve covers off on both sides. I still don't know exactly where I want to put the bungs, because I know on the driver's side valve cover, I can just run, I plan on just cutting this nipple off right here and drilling a hole and putting the fitting right there, because the coil packs don't interfere with it. And the driver's side is super easy. It literally, all I have to do is put a hole right here and then weld the bung right where this factory PCV vent is. So that side's easy. This side is the tricky one. So it has this, vent that comes out of its stock. And I want to just try to maybe lob that off and then put the fitting right there. I just don't know if there's enough room. We could probably make it work somehow, some way. It just sucks because I can't really put it on the front of the valve cover anywhere, because the coil packs actually sit and cover the entire front of the valve cover. So that is one thing that I'm going to be brainstorming. Maybe I'll Google some stuff and figure it out, but I'm probably going to head over to my buddy Jake's house with the twin turbo Camaro, and we'll probably pick up next video when we get over there. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one, guys. But yeah, so anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. A lot of talking, a lot of blabbing. But at least you guys are up to date now on what we want to do here in the future and what we got planned, what we got rolling, all that kind of stuff. I do have the CRX engine and transmission are up for sale if anybody is interested. Probably going to look for like $500 for the motor and trans, just because the motor is a high compression A6 with high compression pistons. It's got ARP head studs, Z6 head. Like, this motor is like brand freaking new, guys. It doesn't leak a drop. It's ready to go. Makes good power, all motor. I would assume that this thing probably makes like 150 wheel. For a single cam, that's pretty damn good. So the CRX engine is up for sale currently. Motor, trans, all of it. I will sell you the linkage, the mounts, the axles, whatever you may need. Let me know. I'll try to, I don't think it'll all be included for that $500 price, but I'm trying to consolidate and make a couple bucks here, because I would like to get the CRX swapped over and put a B series in it. That'll be a really fun project we can make. I want to make an 11-second all-motor Honda, or 11 to 12-second all-motor Honda. That's the goal for the CRX. Maybe spray nitrous with it. Got that motor for the hatch, whatever. Okay, and then I also have a P28 here. I don't want to put it on the website, but if you guys see this video and are interested, possibly hit me up. I know it's kind of towards the end of the video or whatever, but I do have like 2 chip P28s in stock, or at least 1 chip P28 currently. So if anybody's interested, please email me down in the description. I might just take the P28s right off the website because I literally can't get my hands on them. If you guys have any OBD1 computers and you want to sell them to Hunter Tuned or donate them, please hit me up. They're really hard to get a hold of, so I'm probably going to ask around $200 for a chipped computer. And that would include a base map of your choice or whatever. So that is something that I also have to do here. I have injectors in stock. The Flex ones are completely sold out, guys. I have to update the website on the Flex injectors, but the Flex injectors are out. I have all the turbos are in stock. The normal style truck injectors are all in stock, and if you guys want, I can include top hats and stuff for a few additional bucks. Just email me if you guys have any questions. Trying to keep the website stuff rolling so we can keep money flowing in, so we can get the dyno situated, pay for all this your dyno bullshit and all that, because it was a kind of expensive. It was like $1,000 just for the freaking computer stuff for the dyno. So yeah, it's got me stressing a little, but we're gonna do what we got to do and make whatever we got to do happen in order to keep stuff rolling. So anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Have a great night and a better tomorrow.